Hello there and welcome. In this video I'm going to give you a review about Against the Storm. We're going to talk about the game, why I think it totally deserves the reputation it has, and what's good about it, but also what's bad about it and whether or not you might like the game or not. So first of all, I want to go real quick about what we are seeing here, because I gotta say, in all honesty, Against the Storm is one hell of a unique game. So, in its basics, Against the Storm is a roguelite colony builder. So, roguelite, because every colony has only a limited time of survival, you will always play a new colony eventually. And it is also a game where you need to build a city with production chains and resource gathering and an infrastructure to carry your city to victory. You win by achieving reputation points. These reputation points can be achieved by fulfilling orders that you get from the queen. You can get reputation by making your people exceedingly happy, or you send treasures back home to the queen. These are your basic mechanisms to win. The game's production chains are amazing. You can use everything you collect for something. So everything that you can produce is producible by a variety of things. To give you an impression about that, if you make pie at this building, you always need flour, obviously, but you can stuff that pie now with herbs, berries, eggs, insects, and meat. So this is just a first glance on the depth of this game's production chains, because pretty much most of these recipes work so deep, and that makes all of the resources that you gather really interesting and versatile. Every resource node also goes crazy in terms of site drops. So as you see here, we're primarily collecting mushrooms, but we're also having a secondary production of insects. At the clay deposit, we have a primary production of clay, but also a side production of copper and roots, and so on and so forth. The game's challenge derives out of two things. First of all, there's a storm season, where the name of the game comes from, and it drives your people insane, and they will leave the town or even die from mysterious occurrences during that. The storm season is garnered with lots of negative effects that you see here that are always randomly rolled for each colony anew, which will make your life miserable during that time. So your goal is always to survive the storm season and then make the best out of the following two good seasons that you got. You will lose the game once the queen has lost her patience with your colony. That happens when you're taking too long or too many people are dying. This is one of the things. So you will have to find always new pockets to expand into. As you see here, these things that are filled with fog are new pockets to expand into, and whenever we chop them open, the forest hostility grows. This is a effect that makes your people uneasy and makes them more susceptible to madness and other things, reflecting in their happiness level. So the hostility of the forest is influenced by a bajillion of other things, as you see here, but basically, the longer you need to get the victory bar down here full, the more hostile the environment grows and the harder your victory gets to achieve. The game also features a drafting system for the buildings in each run. You have a basic variety of buildings that you can build, like woodcutters and several collectors, houses, some processing buildings, but the more specialized buildings, like for example carpenter, where we can make planks and tools and whatnot, this is something that we need to draft each game. Drafting is a key mechanic in this game. You get new draft charges for your victory points, so you're always trying to get the proper building to make it to the next victory point, because you also get orders, which are basically quests, which also give you new goals to fulfill, and at the end of the day, you're always looking for some way or another to get those points down there. The game has no combat, it has a very nice trading system, and it also features permanent upgrades, so whenever we finish a colony, we gain a couple of resources that will... can we see them here? No. That will allow us to buy upgrades at our home citadel for the next colony, and the next, and then the next, and then the next. There's exceedingly increasing level plethora of difficulty levels that you can select, several prestige levels that you unlock whenever you unlock one previous difficulty, or whenever you beat a difficulty level, you unlock the next one, and therefore there's a lot of challenge in front of you. So, we also have sometimes, as you see here, areas that are marked with strange icons, and then there's events that you need to resolve inside there that require resources and have negative effects if they are not resolved, negative effects while they're being resolved, different rewards, different side effects. It's a wonderful thing. Now, let's talk about what's good about this game. First of all, it is one hell of a replayable game. Due to the amount of things that can be different and will be different on each and every map, there is a lot of things that will be always different. That is really cool, and I've played the game for a couple of 100 hours now, and I can only say it really doesn't grow old. Not at all in that regard. You will grow bored of the game faster because you're fed up with the mechanics and all, rather than you will hate the how to put it, before you will feeling like it's too boring for you. So let's cancel that. As you see here, resolving this event was killing my people during the storm season. So the game is full of meaningful choices. You have so many things that you need and will take care of, and it really feels like what you're doing has really a meaning. And there's a lot of randomness, yes, but your choices and what you do out of this randomness is very meaningful. I have a very high victory rate, and I can say, really with some fondness, the lower difficulty levels, when you know what you're doing, the randomness won't stop you ever. It's not possible to lose if you know what you're doing, because there's so many things that you can get a grip on things, which is amazing. There is also a very satisfying learning curve behind this game. At first, it is really a pain in the rear to see how things are struck together. More often than not, you will draft something wrong, or misread something, or misunderstand a mechanic or two. That happens to all of us, but it is really something where you feel like after a while, you're starting to feel good about the things that happen, and once you start tweaking and manipulating mechanics in a way that you really get some amazing rewards, that feels really good, because you didn't get anything for free. There's also a lot of different strategies to win. There's so many ways to achieve these victory points that you will always find something new to do in each and every run. That's pretty cool. The world building is very innovative, as are many gameplay elements. Collecting rainwater to boost up your industries is something that I haven't seen anywhere else. The corruption system that is inherent due to the post-apocalyptic rainpunk world. I mean, I didn't even know that something like rainpunk could be a thing before I met this game. So there's really a lot of really cool things that go for this game that are truly new, something we haven't seen dozens of times before, and I love that. Also, what I really like, this game is a little bit difficult early on, but whenever you lose, you still get the resources for your progression. So that means it doesn't matter that much if you fail a lot early on. Due to the meta progression unlocks, the game will grow succeedingly easier, and you just will notice for yourself that you always learn something out of your previous defeat, and that's a really cool thing. This game has never made me mad about losing a map. I was more like, damn, I almost made it, but then I looked at the pile of resources I made anyways, and I was like, yeah, alright, that's, next time I'll get them. That's really cool. So, what's bad about the game, though? It is pretty overwhelming at first. That's the very first thing that I gotta say. Getting a grip on all the production chains can be, at first, a really overwhelming task. I remember myself needing quite some time early on when I was diving my toes into the game, and I really felt uncomfortable early on. And I remember that I had to lay away the game 2 days when I got myself into it because I was like, wow, that's too much and all at once, and make it stop. That being said, there's also one other thing. This is by no means a cozy building simulator. There's always pressure down your neck. There's every minute the Queen's impatience running towards your defeat. You will lower the Queen's impatience for every point of reputation that you gain. Yes, that's a given, but you still will always have to fight against the clock. This can be quite off-putting for some people, and I gotta say, when I want to have some cozy and nice city builder, well, this game ain't it. But, in all other aspects, it's excellent in what it does, and I really, really can't recommend it enough in the other aspects that it has. What also is a little bit annoying is that everything that you do and build and decide in this game is one way or another victory based. You will never ever do any decision that is not focused around getting that victory bar down there for. While that is quite a lot of fun if you are into it, but it is also a very unique gameplay that sometimes just is not scratching my city builder itch, if you get what I mean. So that is really something. And last but not least, the roguelite format keeps your cities ultimately always small, because the game is meant to be finished in like 10 to 15 years tops, and that's a very long run already I'm talking about. My runs usually end in year 5 if I'm really good, and between year 10 if things drag out a bit. My average game lasts 7 to 9 in-game years, and then that's that. You will never use the entirety of the map during that. While you can play, if I remember correctly, still free after you have won the map, I don't know, it's just not the same, and that is something where I must say, yeah, its unique game format denies it off of the ability to give you just that city builder feeling that some people are missing about the game. But let's move over to the summary. It is still one of the best city builder games that I know, because the blend of roguelite elements, drafting elements, management and production chain and logistic elements is really well made. The game is balanced by the early access and the feedback of the community since years. And the developers really have shown during these years that they listen to people, that they really are interested in creating a game that's fun for the players, and it really shows. That's really, really nice. Also, I must say, the game might be a little bit hard at first and a little bit overwhelming, but it is also a very forgiving scenario where you always get a reward if you fail. Heck, you can even abandon your city when you're like, I messed up everything, I need to restart. Even then you will get a little bit of some consolation prize. So that's a really nice thing. And I gotta say, the satisfaction of learning in this game is stellar. I must say, once I was able to ride this game properly, I felt like that was an amazing power trip, I gotta say. Because this game was mean to me before I was able to beat it. It was very mean to me. And that is something I really love. When afterwards you're like, yeah, it was just me. I just was playing it wrongly, and now I know how to play it better, and now I'm winning. And this is a really nice gameplay experience. That's one that this game fully provides. So, last but not least, it is one very captivating gameplay loop. And I gotta say, during playing one colony, I really forget pretty much everything around me. It is a very cozy, relaxing experience while being very action-packed. And if you're looking for some brain intense escapism that is not war-based, that does not offer have any other conflict rather than you and the elements, and you love organizing, micromanaging production chains and logistics chains and workers, this game is excellent. I think I've made my point here, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Leave a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and of course, the description box is full with nice links. I'd be really happy if you gave them a look. As usual, I want to say a big thanks to all the supporters of Icon Gaming. You can find the links how to do so down there also. And a very big thanks to you for watching this video up until the very end. Against the Storm is truly one of my all-time favorite games, and, well, while I'm recording this, it is currently on sale until weeks. Probably it's interesting for you at this point. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.